Hey Elliot, it's Marcus. Congrats on 1K, man. Awesome work. You 100% deserve it. Your content is awesome. Like I said when we first called, I really do see potential in you, and obviously hitting 1K has pretty much proven that. When 1K is the hardest milestone to hit, honestly, it's insanely hard. Other milestones might take more time, but 1K is definitely the hardest. It's the longest grind and the most uh, mentally challenging as well, because when you, hey, say have like 40K like I have now, or getting close to 50, sometimes the 100K subscribers or 500K subscribers, it seems such a long way away, but you've still got people supporting you. You've still got 50,000 people commenting on your videos and keeping you going. But when you're trying to hit 1K, you don't have any of that. It's all you. So awesome work. Just thought I'd record this video to respond to your email, because I keep responding with emails, and like, what's a video guy doing responding using emails? So I thought I'd record a video and try and answer some of your questions. So your questions, as far as I know or understand, is basically Discord, my thoughts on that, my thoughts on my thoughts on Discord, my thoughts on Patreon, my thoughts on monetization and the business side of things, and what I think you should do for your 1K special. Okay, for your 1K special, I mean, I don't want to discourage you, but in my experience, a lot of people don't care as much about your 1K special as you probably do. So if I was you, I would just do something that you really want to do or find enjoyable. And if that's sharing your behind the scenes and how you create content, sharing how you do that, then go for it. But yeah, in my experience, like, I used to make a big deal out of my milestones, and I think the last big one that I actually celebrated properly was probably, what was it, 30K maybe, or maybe 10K, I don't know. But anyway, I stopped making much of a big deal about it, because I realized that most people don't really care about how many subscribers you've got. They care about the content you're putting out, which, when you think about it, makes sense. But I'm not saying I don't think you should celebrate it. I do think you should celebrate it. I think it's great. But if I was you, I wouldn't worry too much about what other people will want, because in my experience, most of the time they don't really, want much or want things as badly as you might think they want things. Okay, so Discord. My experience with Discord has been good. It's been great, actually. I don't use Discord much personally, but I do have a Discord server. I think it's pretty small. We've got, I don't know, 1,500. No, it's getting almost 2,000 members now, I think. But yeah, relatively small. But what's been awesome about Discord is you're able to find and interact with fans who maybe you only see them in comments normally. So, you get those commenters who, I'm sure you've got some now, who you see them kind of frequently, and it's awesome to get to interact with those people. And another awesome thing about that is those people who are really dedicated, you'll find people who are dedicated, and you can assign them roles and give them certain permissions and responsibilities on your Discord server, and they can actually help you grow your channel, which is really awesome. Now, be careful giving out your moderations and giving people roles, because there are a lot of people who will just take that for granted, and you don't want that, and because that will kind of lower the standard for everyone. But if you make it kind of a hard to get thing, when people do get it, they'll appreciate it, and those people will, I've had my moderators do help me with promotions and create little ads for me and create promotional content, like graphic content. Not like, I don't go to them and ask them to do that kind of stuff, but they just do it because they feel almost, well, it seems like they feel like they're now part of something bigger than they're part of the channel. They're not just like an observer, they're actually part of something bigger. And so they want to help contribute. So I've found it awesome. Like, honestly, I haven't been on Discord in like probably about a month. Like, I'm that inactive just because I'm like flat out at the moment. But it's still going, and there's still a bunch of active members in there, and I see them comments and notifications going up and all that kind of thing. And so yeah, I think it will probably grow slowly, almost more slowly than you think at the start. But if you're doing it from a perspective, because I know you said you wanted to grow a community, and that's one of the reasons you want to interact with a community of people, that was one of your reasons for wanting to do YouTube, then I think Discord's a good way to go. Now, Patreon. Again, in my experience, people haven't been as interested as I thought they would be for behind the scenes content. Everyone goes, yeah, behind the scenes content, we want to see it. And then when they actually have to hand over money, they're like, yeah, nah. But again, that's just my experience. One thing I do know is that people who have more personality-based channels, so your channel, for example, where you're pretty much always talking in the videos and giving your thoughts on things, it is a lot easier to get Patreons as opposed to my channel where I've specifically tried to make it a bit more faceless, because I don't want to be the face of it just because I'm really busy at the moment, and if I was the face of it, then I couldn't employ a team to work on it because it would kind of be weird. But I think it is, I think you might as well give it a go. But if I was you, I wouldn't get your hopes up massively for that. It's just kind of challenging. You see a lot of creators out there who have smaller followings and they have great Patreon support. Often those are creators who live stream heaps just because they're able to physically talk to their fans and encourage them to subscribe that way. Some bird rustling around up there. But there's no harm in giving it a go. I mean, and it's really easy. Like, you don't really need to put in any like super detailed information or you sign any contracts or anything like that. In terms of money making, monetization, I would monetize. I mean, there's no reason not to monetize. The ads, like, people have gotten used to ads on YouTube. Like, yeah, you can see the ads as being annoying for people, and I guess if you have a choice, people would rather no ads, but like, pretty much every single video out there has ads. So like, it's not like you're going to be a big annoyance to people. It's just like, you know, another YouTube creator with ads. It's not a big deal. I had the same mentality as you when I first started, and I didn't have to wait to get monetized. And then by the time I ended up getting around to getting monetized, I actually calculated it and I had lost about $1,000. So I really should have monetized earlier, because sometimes, especially around Christmas season and stuff, you don't need to get many views to get a lot of revenue. Now, a lot of revenue for the gaming niche is what, you know, it might be maybe $1 or $2 per 1,000 views, or CPM they call it. Normally it's probably about 30 cents per 1,000 views, but $2 for 1,000 views, if you get a video that kind of goes crazy, or maybe a couple of videos that go crazy, and it's during the right season, so if it's during that November, December region, or maybe around a big event period, time of the year, maybe around Easter or something like that, you can make some decent money. And don't discount yourself, man. Like, I know what it's like. You feel bad, like, going after the money on YouTube, but you've put a lot of time into this, and you've done it all for free, and helped people and done all that kind of stuff for free. So you deserve any compensation you can get. Second thing is, the more money you get, the more sustainable your channel will become, the more time you'll be able to dedicate to it, and ultimately it's in your viewers' best interests for you to be financially successful because of your channel. So those are my thoughts on monetization. I think it's very important. What I would recommend, if I was you, is looking into starting your own, or coming up with your own product, if you ultimately want to get serious about business. Now, this is another course I want to create, but by now, I was hoping to have it start creating it by now, but I'm still working on this marketing one, because it's been really hectic. I don't know if you've heard, but there's been fires in Australia, and they've been, in the media, they got pretty big around Christmas, but they've actually been going on for months. So it's been a bit hectic and a bit busy, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that marketing course afterwards. But in short, the business course was going to be about pretty much creating your own product. At the end of the day, you have to create your own product if you really want to be financially successful on YouTube, in my opinion. I've created a couple of things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. So I had consulting sessions. I didn't really push much. They did okay. I made a couple $100 out of that. Where I basically, well, you know what I've done. I pretty much did one with you. So I made, I don't know, probably in all I don't know, maybe $800 out of that, which is okay. And it's something that I really enjoy doing. Then there's courses which I'm trying to work on, and I'm really happy with them because I really feel like I'm helping make a difference to people, and I really do have a passion for YouTube. And at the end of the day, it's awesome to be able to be working on something that is helping me become financially free while helping other people achieve their goals. And basically it's all in a niche which I enjoy and I'm passionate about, which is growing gaming channels on YouTube. So if you can come up with something like that, I don't know what it would be. Like, man, you really have to think about it and come up with something creative, or look up what other people are doing in your niche if you can find anything. But I don't know, Apex Legend course, I don't know, whatever it is, come up with something more than just or in my opinion, it's better to come up with something that's a physical product and is separate from YouTube. For a couple of reasons. First of all, people feel like they're getting a bit more out of it, and people generally are getting a bit more out of it than just, behind the scenes content, because, behind the scenes content is great, but that's more, it's not as, there are a lot of people who do behind the scenes content for free, so it's not that big of a deal, whereas a course or a really funny t-shirt, like I tried t-shirts didn't really work out for me, but t-shirts for some people work great, or I don't know, some product you can find, and you don't have to invent your own product. You can find products on like Amazon or eBay or whatever, sell them on your website or on a website, which isn't too hard to set up if you look around and figure out how to do it. And then basically when people order from you, you go back to whatever site you found that product on, you purchase it basically in your name, but then put in their address, and then it goes to them, and then you make a profit on that. So if you can't think of something to create yourself, you can do that strategy, which is called dropshipping. But yeah, it's really hard, really complicated. I can't really sum it up all in this one video. But if you have any ideas about specific things, I'm happy to, try and help you out with them. And yeah, if I was you, I'd be trying to create your own product or your own something to sell, as opposed to crowdfunding, which can be a bit more unreliable. The other thing is, speaking of reliability, is that if YouTube kind of goes down the gurgler, you have something to fall back on. So for example, if my channel died or got deleted, I could still sell my course with paid ads, which, you basically just pay for your exposure instead and make your profit that way. So ultimately that's what I would recommend. Anyway, I hope that helped out a little bit. In terms of the marketing course, because you might be wondering what's happening with that, which is completely fair enough because it is a little bit late. As I said, been super busy. What I'm doing at the moment is, so for the first course that I made, I think I made a mistake, which was, I found that people were more interested in marketing their already existing YouTube channels than people were in actually starting YouTube channels, which, too much wildlife around here, I'm glad I did the fundamentals course because I had a great time, and I think I helped a lot of people, but what probably would have helped more people, or what people would have been interested in more, was a course showing people how to upgrade and market already existing channels. So instead of just picking a course and creating content for it and hoping it plays out, what I'm doing now is I'm creating different ads and different trials of certain courses, programs, and seeing which one people find the most useful, and then when I find which one people find the most useful, then I'll go into that and actually create all the content properly for it. So the ones I'm thinking about the most are, one is a challenge program, which basically is 1 month. I teach you basically all the strategies, every single strategy I know to get subscribers. So this isn't like a long-term like you have to already have decent content, because otherwise, obviously, like I talked to you before, if you market your content and you're sending it back to a dead channel, then there's people aren't going to subscribe. So this is for people who already have relatively functional channels. But the idea is that everyone who does this course, if they follow the curriculum, I'm pretty certain they'll get at least 100 subscribers or 500 subscribers, or however many subscribers we end up figuring out the formula, whatever it is. So that was one. The other was just a course kind of like the one I created, but next level up. So we go in depth about SEO and marketing videos and kind of that, and that's more about the actual strategy, growth strategy, as opposed to just a how to get subscribers kind of thing. And there were a couple of others, like I said, the business one, and different forms of like marketing links. But anyway, I'm testing them out, seeing which one people find most useful. And if you have any ideas, like feel free to let me know. And then I'll actually get into the actual creation of content. So apologies for the wait, but hopefully this video helps you out. And it sounds like you're progressing very well on your own anyway. And if you ever need any help, let me know in the process. One final thing I'd like to add is that when I do these courses, at the moment, like I said, I'm kind of leaning towards we'll see what people think, because it's not about what I want. That's what I figured out. It's about what other people want, because other people are the people actually taking the course. More wildlife. So I think if I did do it, I'd get some test subjects, and basically I'd pay the way through and all that kind of thing. So if you wanted to be one of the people who was who's like one of the beta members for that, you could go in for free, and basically there are certain programs and stuff that I use, and certain advertising strategies that actually cost money, but I would pay for all of that for you. And basically you would just have to follow this curriculum to the T, and it'd be pretty time consuming, but you would have to follow it as well and to the letter as possible, and basically we'll see what the results are, and then I could basically from there we can say, okay, this program really works, we can actually go into making lessons for this, or no, the program doesn't work and we need to figure out how to get it working. The only downside, and the only reason I haven't talked to you about this before I got the email, was that the way I want to do this is I want to do it for channels that have 0 subscribers, and see how many they can get from 0, because a lot of people are concerned that they need some traction to start. I don't think that's the case, but for the case study I think it's probably a good idea we do it from 0. And obviously your channel already had subscribers. That doesn't mean you're not going to gain anything out of it. Like if let's say we do this program, we figure out the average person gains about 500 subscribers. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't mind having 1,500 subscribers, but for the case study, just to prove the concept, I need someone with 0. So I don't know if you're interested, and like this is no pressure at all, if you're interested in, maybe starting a second channel, or you had an idea, if you've ever thought about starting a second channel and starting from 0, and we could just test it out, and then at the end of the 30 days we could, you could basically make posts on that and then send all those viewers you gain back to your main channel, and then continue working on your main channel. But yeah, we'd have to see, and if that's something you're open to. But if not, I completely understand how you might want to continue focusing all of your efforts on your main channel. But I think it'd be a kind of a cool experience, and I kind of need I'd like someone who I think is dedicated, and I think kind of knows what they're doing in terms of the content creation. And I think you could, like I've said before, I think you could be that person. So like that second channel, you would actually put out good content as well as implementing the strategies that I've talked about. But yeah, anyway, that was just kind of me thinking out loud, so I hope that kind of makes sense. And if you are interested, let me know. If not, that's all good. I can just I'll see if I can I will be able to find someone else, and then you'll get that course and the lessons when it comes out, and you can apply those strategies to your main channel. Anyway, apologies for the lengthy video. I hope this all helped, and again, congrats on 1K.